All right, welcome back to ABA exam review and the continuation of our RBT practice exam series, where we're going through another set of questions together and breaking them down. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Please subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Instagram and TikTok for all of our video updates. Check out btexamreview.com for all of our study materials, including our combo pack. When you pass your exam, please let us know so we can include you in the Sunday shout out. Work hard. Study hard. Let's get going. Sam typically ignores the office vending machine. However, after skipping breakfast, Sam is drawn to the vending machine and buys multiple snacks. On days when Sam eats a large breakfast, the vending machine remains unappealing. Which concept best explains why Sam buys more snacks when she skips breakfast? So the question wants to know, why is Sam buying more snacks? And specifically, why does it seem that skipping breakfast leads to buying more snacks? So to answer this question, we have to think about, how does skipping breakfast affect the snacks? We know Sam typically won't use the machine, but if she does skip breakfast, all of a sudden she goes to the machine and buys a bunch of snacks. Now, common sense says why? Well, if she skips breakfast, she's likely to be more hungry and she's probably deprived of food. So when we are deprived of something or satiated on something, we're typically thinking about motivating operations. If Sam skips breakfast and is deprived of food, what is going to increase in value? Well, food. So suddenly the snacks increase in value because Sam is deprived of food. On the other side, if Sam eats a large breakfast and is satiated on food, then the vending machine and snacks lose their appeal. They lose value. And that's what motivating operations are all about. They temporarily alter the value of something, which temporarily alters the behavior. So if Sam is skipping breakfast and then buying more snacks, well, skipping breakfast has increased the value of snacks and temporarily changed Sam's behavior. So which concept explains that? A, stimulus generalization. With stimulus generalization, we're looking at a situation where multiple stimuli are evoking the same response. We're not talking about generalization in this question. We're discussing why Sam's behavior has changed, why the snacks are becoming more valuable. And so what we're talking about are motivating operations. And that motivating operation is the deprivation of food for Sam, which increases the value of the snacks and temporarily increase or changes the behavior of buying the snacks. Negative reinforcement. Well, when Sam goes to the vending machine, she obtains the snacks. So if anything, it's positive reinforcement, but we're directly looking at the link between skipping breakfast and buying more snacks, not necessarily the consequence. And then D, behavior chain interruption. The behavior chain interruption is a strategy we use when using task chaining to teach. We're not discussing a task chaining approach here, so D is out. Why does Sam buy more snacks when she skips breakfast? Because of motivating operations. A coordinator at a rehabilitation clinic is training new volunteers to follow a sanitizing protocol for medical equipment. The coordinator presents a clear instruction for each step, observes the volunteer's response, and provides immediate feedback before moving to the next step. This pattern repeats for each segment of the protocol until the volunteer masters all steps and is done rapidly. Which teaching method is the coordinator using? So sometimes what happens is you'll get a long question like this. This is a quite lengthy question, but if you don't panic and you attack the question, you're going to find it to be very straightforward and simple. So we don't want to be intimidated by the length of a question and just see, well, this is a long question, it's going to be difficult. That's not how we approach each question. We read the question and attack it. The question wants to know which teaching method is the coordinator using? Well, we know the coordinator is trying to teach a protocol. So they present an instruction, they observe a response, and they provide feedback. They repeat this and they do it rapidly. What does that sound like? If we present a SD, we have a response, we give feedback, then we pause and repeat it, and we do it quickly, what teaching method does that sound like? A task analysis. Well, a task analysis is not a teaching method. It's a way of creating a task chain by breaking behaviors down into steps, and that is not what the question is asking about. So A is out. B, discrete trial training. With discrete trials, what are we doing? We are rapidly introducing SDs so we can rapidly produce responses and rapidly give feedback so we can continue to teach the same skill over and over again at a quick pace. And that's what this coordinator is doing. They have a contrived, systematic way of presenting these steps rapidly where they're giving the instruction, they're getting a response, and then they're providing feedback, and then they're repeating it over and over again until the skill is mastered. This looks like discrete trial training. Let's read all of our answer choices. C, incidental teaching. Incidental teaching is also known as naturalistic teaching, where we're just using naturally occurring situations to teach. Since this is contrived, it's not going to be natural and it's not going to be incidental teaching. And then D, shaping. Shaping has to do with reinforcing successive approximations of behavior. We aren't talking about approximations here. We aren't discussing shaping. The teaching method we're looking at is discrete trial training. And it might not be immediately clear, but if you just think about, we have an instruction, a behavior, or a behavior, we have feedback, and then we repeat it over and over again in rapid succession, it's going to be discrete trial training. During basketball practice, the coach decides that any player who misses a free throw must run an extra lap around the court immediately afterward. After a few practices, the players' missed free throws decrease noticeably. Which principle best explains why the number of missed free throws is changing? So we have a principle question and it's a behavior change question. And what is the behavior? Missed free throws. We want to know why it's or how or why it's changing. And the keyword is changing. We want to know how is it changing in the sense of is the behavior increasing or decreasing? Well, we can see the players' missed free throws are decreasing. So if we have behaviors that are decreasing, then the consequence must be either punishing or extinction because reinforcement will only increase. We know during basketball practice, the coach says if you miss a free throw, you have to run a lap. So he's adding the lap to the scenario. The consequence is running an extra lap. So since we're adding it, it's going to be positive. So we know it's going to be positive. And since the missed free throws are decreasing, it must be punishing. So if you look at A, positive reinforcement, yes, it is positive. We're adding something to the scenario, but it isn't reinforcement because the behavior is decreasing. Reinforcement will never decrease the behavior. It will only increase. Same with B, negative reinforcement. It isn't negative and it's not reinforcement. So B is just very wrong. C, positive punishment. We're adding the lap, which is positive, and then the behavior is decreasing, which is punishment, positive punishment. D, negative punishment. Yes, it's punishment, but it is not negative because we're not removing anything as a consequence. So the principle that best explains why the number of missed free throws is changing is C, positive punishment. Fareed often clicks a retractable pen repeatedly while working, even when nobody is around to notice. He says that it helps him stay focused and calm. Fareed continues pen clicking regardless of whether coworkers comment on it or not. Which function of behavior is most likely maintaining Fareed's pen clicking? So we have a function question, and the function of the behavior is why the behavior is occurring. Typically, behavior happens to gain or get rid of something. So we've got to look at the situation Fareed is in when he's clicking the pen and what he's getting out of it or removing. We know he's clicking the pen while working, even when nobody is around. So immediately, when you have a function question and it mentions that the behavior happens when the person is by themselves, we immediately need to start thinking the automatic function. Automatic is not socially mediated. Additionally, Fareed says it helps him stay focused and calm. So it could be some sort of sensory function, which is also the same thing as automatic. Remember, automatic and sensory are the same function. Fareed continues pen clicking regardless of whether coworkers commented or not on it or not. So even if Fareed gets attention, even if he doesn't, he still clicks his pen. So the attention is having no impact at all on the pen clicking. So which function is most likely maintaining it based on our information? A, attention. Well, it's shown that attention really doesn't have any outcome or any effect, I should say, on the pen clicking. Whether or not the coworkers comment on it makes no difference to Fareed. He still does it. B, escape. Is Fareed escaping anything? Well, none of the information indicates Fareed is escaping anything, so escape is out. C, tangible. Is Fareed obtaining a tangible object, some sort of physical item? No, it doesn't say so in the information. And then D, automatic. Well, the only other information we were given was it helps him stay focused and calm, and he does it when nobody's around. All those signs point to Fareed's pen clicking functioning as automatic or sensory. Which of the following principles of behavior change is not included in a differential reinforcement of alternative behavior procedure? Let's finish on a pretty simple one, right? We're thinking about differential reinforcement of alternative behaviors, and we are thinking about what principles of behavior change is not included in that procedure. So, what do we need for differential reinforcement? Well, we need reinforcement, obviously. But what's the second thing we need? Well, we're going to need extinction because we're going to have two behaviors. One, we're teaching the alternative behavior. Our target behavior is the one we're going to put on extinction. So, do we need reinforcement for differential reinforcement of alternative behaviors? We do. Do we need extinction? Yes. Do we need punishment? No. Punishment is not a part of differential reinforcement. Can you use differential reinforcement and punishment together? You can, but punishment is not part of differential reinforcement. So, the principle of behavior change that is not included in differential reinforcement is going to be C, punishment. Thanks for watching. Check out btexamreview.com for all of our study materials. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on social. When you pass your exam, let us know so we can include you in the Sunday shout out. Work hard, study hard. See you soon.